Hi there, I'm Debbie House, editor of Retail Touchpoints. On the final day of NRF 2016, on my right, Adam Blair, our executive editor. On my left, Alicia Fioretta, our content strategist. And we're here just to talk about some insights that we heard at the show this year. The thing I want to talk about today, this afternoon, is the topic of digital innovation. A lot of solution providers are talking about it, and I actually had a couple of conversations with a couple of our Customer Engagement Award winners who really are focusing on digital innovation. True Religion, for example, has implemented this endless aisle app for the Apple Watch, and they are able to, the store associates can access inventory information on the watch, and then it appears on a digital screen. And the thing about this that I think is great is that it's answering a question to a problem that they had, and this is what I've been having this conversation with a lot of people during this event about when you're implementing new technology and innovative technology, it would really help if you had a problem to solve, and answer that problem with the technology. And so in True Religion's case, their problem was, we have small format stores, people come in and out, we want them to stay in the store longer. And that's why they developed this app. So I just thought that was really a perfect example to this topic of digital innovation, and then why to implement new technology.
And I love to tack on to that, how all the different technologies play together, right? There's the Apple Watch app, which then connects to the digital screen, but then someone can scan with their mobile phone and it integrates to the mobile point of sale. So it's still delivering on that omni-channel promise, but again, it's meeting that need, which I think is so important.
It's a specific issue they were trying to address. And at AT&T, in their Store of the Future, they have eliminated counters because they wanted their associates to be engaging with customers more effectively. So they're using interactive digital technology and digital mobile technology in order to provide the information associates need to interact and engage more with customers when they come into the store. So those are just a couple of examples of the digital innovation and just that whole concept of why are we implementing this technology?
Right.
You really have to have a good reason. So I'll leave it at that for now. What did you see today?
Well, I saw a lot of interesting technology today, but I guess if there's a theme of it, it was technological devices that also had multiple usages. So one example was ESL's electronic shelf labels that weren't just the electronic shelf labels, but they also could serve as beacons. So rather than just the beacon being hidden, it was integrated with that. And then after hours, the signage on it could flip and it could be a task manager. In other words, it could say, this product needs fulfilling, or it's time to change the signage here. And I think for technologies that people are going to invest in, it's great if they have multiple usages. Another one was a communications device for associates that, because it's controlled at the enterprise level, and it's also very small, it's something you can clip, it's like the size of a credit card. It had store operations aspects of, literally calling people to the cash register as a backup, but also inventory lookup, let's see, what else, training and customer service. So, when these things are designed so that they're not just a single purpose, I think that helps with what you're talking about, that it's going to solve the problem they knew they had and maybe some that they even didn't know about. And the other thing was just a fun cause-related marketing thing, which was what JDA did with the fitness challenge, which was you could send a text and it would count your steps, kind of like a Fitbit, and if they got to a certain number of steps, they would donate to, I believe it's Shoes for Humanity, where they buy shoes for people who don't have them.
That's nice,
Which is nice, and considering how everybody's on their feet at NRF, everyone's thinking shoes and feet.
Very
so,
fitting.
yes, fitting, literally. So that was about it. How about you, Alicia?
Yeah, I think what I saw ties really nicely with the topics that you guys brought up, and I think it's the notion of retailers being more strategic about how they look at innovation. So for the past few years, I saw a lot of the cool cutting edge technologies, the robots, the mobile technology, the all of these different touch points, and it was the element of excitement, sure, but it was all about, oh, we need to hop on it just because we need to tack onto it because that's what the customer wants. I feel like this year, all my conversations, they were saying retailers are being a lot more level-headed about how they're looking at this technology. They're saying, what is my need? Is it serving a purpose? How does this align with our overall brand vision, for the future? And how can we take a first step and then possibly expand outward in the future to different areas? So one example would be, Tyco Retail Solutions. They've been really building up their portfolio, with acquisitions. I believe they're going to be completing their acquisition of ShopperTrack in the near future. So they have RFID, they have in-store analytics, and they basically told me, you can start off your journey with just RFID, but then you can expand your capability with RFID from tracking, products around the store to integrating it with digital displays and, having a product when you hold it up, it turns on the interactive display and it serves content, right? I mean, you don't want to dive too deep before realizing the value, of course. So they were just showcasing, how retailers can take small steps towards that big innovation.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff this year. I heard a little bit about data security as well, and
yes.
With the EMV deadline that's passed, some people are talking about now do we need to be more concerned about theft online versus in store as more stores become secure. So people are keeping tabs on that. Data security is still going to be an issue that they have to be concerned about as EMV becomes more prevalent across the industry. So it's definitely not it might not be the most fun topic, but people still are talking about it, and they have to.
We're talking about foundation, right? I think having that security in place is a very important foundation, not only from a payments perspective, but just regular customer information. I mean, their full names, their addresses, their phone numbers. That's still sensitive data that can impact how a consumer perceives you. Breaking that trust if a breach does happen and you don't have the proper precautions or actions in place, the next steps that you take if it happens. Actually, I heard someone say, people are saying, are not saying if a breach occurs, it's when a breach occurs.
Right. Everyone's at risk.
Yep.
No one is ever going to be 100% safe. But on the other side of that, we're having a lot of talks about personalization and clienteling. And because they have so much access to so much customer data, there's a lot of really great, relevant, personalized communications offers that retailers can provide to shoppers on an opt-in basis. But they have to still keep in mind the creep factor and don't cross that line. But we know customers these days want that. They want to be approached in the right way, with the right offers and the right products and the right communications. And they know, retailers have the data. Retailers just have to be
value exchange, right?
And they have to be responsible about how they use it.
If you can offer some value, then it's going to be worthwhile. And people are sharing a lot more data themselves on social networks, so maybe psychologically the consumer is more used to that as well. So they're probably going to be more open to it from a retailer, if it's a retailer they trust. And as you say, if they provide value with it. So it's the trust factor is a big piece of it, no doubt.
But overall, I think a lot of really positive conversations with people. The solution providers I talked to said they were having great meetings with current and future customers. So I think it's going to be a fun year in retail.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been hearing very positive things as well. People seem to be happy with the traffic and with the quality of the attendees. So that's a good sign.
All right. Well, great job, all of the Retail Touchpoints team, including our camera people and others behind the scenes. So thanks again for a great year, and we'll see you next year at NRF.